What are some of the brand new stocks you've been investing in recently, and which ones of them are you most optimistic about or most excited moving forward?
Yeah, so going into the back half of, because now I'm already thinking, technically we're still in the first half of the year, but we're, only a couple of weeks away from going into the back half of the year. I definitely see some opportunities out there, and it's in a few different places. So a lot of growth stocks have been running. So not to say there's no opportunity in growth stocks, there are a few, and we could probably talk about those, but I definitely see there being more opportunities in dividend and value stocks in the back half of this year, mainly because those stocks have been kind of forgotten. They haven't been the exciting play because obviously a lot of those stocks don't attract the growth investors. And a lot of those stocks have been forgotten because treasuries have been yielding so much and savings accounts have been getting so much. So people are like, who cares about making a 4%, 5% dividend yield when I can make 4%, 5% in a savings account or a treasury? My belief is you won't be able to get 5% plus on treasuries and 4% plus on savings accounts forever. If I had to guess, rates will ultimately be much lower in a year or 2 years from now than they are today. And when that happens, there's obviously going to have to be a return to a lot of these dividend type stocks. So I see there being a lot of opportunities out there in terms of those. Cheesecake Factory is a good example of it, just an easy money stock, in my opinion, that I've been plowing some money into over the past number of months. The next opportunity I see is for actually hedging portfolios. And this is a more complicated subject. I know not everybody's, into hedging, but it's definitely worthwhile exploring a little bit about how to hedge a portfolio. And I put together a great, like 45-minute long video inside the private group maybe a month ago on just all these different hedging opportunities, because a lot of people are just, you're not hedged in the market. And what happens if a crash happens? What happens if, the S&P 500 goes down 20%, 30%? You say, well, I can buy for cheaper. Yes, 100%. And that's great. But there's also, if you had hedged your portfolio, you probably would have been able to make some incredible gains. Then you could have flipped out of that and then piled that in to your long positions at very low prices if you've got a hedged portfolio. So I think there's some real hedging opportunities in the back half of this year, especially if the market continues to run, just for protection, just in case things go bad in 2024. I see a stock like PayPal. PayPal's a steal deal in my opinion. PayPal is probably the easiest money I've seen since Meta last year, when Meta was just disgustingly undervalued in Q4 of 2022. And PayPal is just trading at a valuation right now I'm just laughing at, because this is a growth company, but trading at a forward P of like 12. Whenever they announce a new CEO, I think there's probably going to be a pretty big stock price move in regards to that one, because then there'll be clarity around the CEO, CFO simultaneously, and kind of what their vision is, where they're going in the future. And so I think that's a great opportunity in the market. Another stock I like right now is Revolve, RVLV, e-commerce player, clothing company. A lot of guys might not know it, but a lot of women know it. Trust me on that. And that's just a stock I really like right now. Great management team at that company, good balance sheet, good income statement. They've had obviously trouble growing here in the short term with kind of the macroeconomic weakness, but I think they're going to get back to nice growth in 2024 and moving in future years. So so those are just some of the opportunities I see out there in the market. But there's always opportunities in the market. I think sometimes people say, they see certain stocks going up, Tesla, Meta, whatever, right, having tremendous years, Palantir, and they think like there's no opportunities out there now. All these stocks have gone up so much. There's always opportunities in the market. It's just different opportunities. I can tell you this: the stocks I was buying 9 months ago are not the same stocks I'm buying right now. The stocks I'm going to be buying 9 months from now are not going to be same stocks I'm buying right now. The market changes. It gives you different opportunities. And this is why I always preach my strategy: growth, value, dividends. I call it GVD. It's my strategy. Growth stocks, value stocks, dividend stocks in your portfolio. Have several of each category, because you're going to get different pitches at different times. Certain times, growth stocks are going to be extremely overvalued. There's going to be no deals anywhere, and it's going to seem like you're in a market bubble. And you're like, eh. So then where do you go to? Well, there's a few places you can go to. One is hedging. So if there's some big downside and that is a bubble you're in, you're going to be able to make a ton of money coming off of that, right? Second place is maybe dividend and value stocks, or the flavor of the month, because everybody wants to pile into growth stocks. So you see opportunities there. There's going to be other times when you're in a very risk-off market, like we were in 2022, especially the back half of 2022, where no one wants any piece of mega cap tech, of growth stocks. People just, they don't care what price you give them it at. They don't want it, right? And certain times that's where you need to be plowing that money in, right? And so yeah. So bottom line is there's a lot of opportunities out there. There's going to continue to be opportunities. They're just going to be different opportunities, and that's whereas you as a more experienced investor over time can identify those opportunities and figure out this is where I need to go next. This is where I need to go next.
How much cash are you in at the moment, percentage wise?
Yeah, I'm about like 12 to maybe 15% cash at the moment. So I would call that maybe a little bit on the later side because I still see a lot of opportunities in this market. And so every week I'm buying, every week, every single week I'm buying out there. And I'm also buying hedges in the market. So just in case, the big recession comes that they've been talking about, just in case it comes in 2024, I'm hedging up just in case, so I can make a lot of money from that if that even transpires. So, and I don't really see my cash levels changing much. I think I'm going to probably remain kind of in the 10 to 15% range, probably for at least the next 6 to 12 months, to be honest.
Okay. And you mentioned a few stocks you have been buying and you're very excited for, PayPal, for example. Are there any which you haven't actually fired the trigger on yet, but you're really excited? Maybe you've had that sort of fizzle moment you get when you start looking at a stock and get really excited and do the deep dive.
Oh gosh, you know,
Or ones that you have literally
yeah,
just started building out.
yeah. There's a few that I am. I've started some positions, and I'm going to probably build out actually some hated stocks that people don't like right now, like Target, Disney. Yeah, you might not know about that over in the States, man. Everybody's in a fit all the time. But at the end of the day, people cancel these stocks, and then no one remembers it 6 months from now, 3 months from now, 3 weeks from now, because somebody does something more dumb, and then everybody's mad at them, and then everybody's mad at the next one. So, yeah, there's definitely some I've kind of been buying why they've just crashed because I'm like, okay, y'all can sell these stocks. I'll take these shares off your hands. And then there's actually, there's a few stocks I've been researching. One that comes to mind is a very new stock I've been researching, which is actually kind of an older company, Oracle. I've actually been doing a little digging around Oracle over the past, I'd say, 48 hours or so. And the reason being is Oracle has these tremendous growth vectors in their business in several different categories that I'm like 76% growth, 55% growth, like some crazy growth vectors in some of their segments of their business that I'm like, what is going on at Oracle that has these sorts of growth rates? So I'm doing some digging on Oracle right now, trying to see if there's something there. I've been working on AMD for a while now, and obviously the stock has climbed tremendously. But I'm really trying to see what AMD really has going. I'm trying to look on the tech side. Are they actually going to be a serious competitive threat to NVIDIA in terms of the AI race? Because those AI chips are selling for like, I mean, from what I've heard, 20, 30,000 plus dollars per AI chip. It's incredible. And so doing a little digging there. And then, yeah, Texas Roadhouse, Cake are kind of somewhat newer stocks. I maybe held them for a few months now that I'm adding shares to, specifically Cake mainly. So, but yeah, and then, a little SDAO here and there, a little SQQQ here and there. Just recently, I just bought my first share of SQQQ, which if this NASDAQ keeps running hard into the end of the year, that might be something I maybe build up into a little bit bigger position, maybe even some call options on that, which is essentially like a 3x against the market, which I know for some people that probably went way over your heads. And don't worry about it, man. Everybody can get experience at some time. The inverse ETFs and all that fun game. But anyways, yeah. So I just in a really good spot in the market right now. I got to say that, in terms of my portfolios on the long side, I'm just looking really, really good. I love the way my companies are starting to execute, and I can't wait for the next several quarters. This is like probably the most excited I've been for my company's earnings over this next, I'd say, 2 to 3 quarters. So really happy there, really happy with my hedging, where I'm positioned in the market. And I'm not scared at all. If there's a crash, I'm going to make so much from my hedges, so I'm not scared of a crash. If we have a kangaroo market that goes nowhere for a bit here, I'm fine with that because they give me more time to buy some of these stocks that I think are extremely discounted at great prices. And if the market continues to go up, then it's going to be money printer time. So I'm just really, really happy with where I'm at in the market right now.